Actually, I'm glad you brought up EDCOM too, no? Education Commission, the Education Commission bill, which is lapsed into law. And you also in that bill had talked about how the K to 12 program, how there's a bit of a mismatch there, and how we need to encourage more companies to hire K to 12 graduates, right? Could you talk a little bit about that?
So yes, there's been talk about reviewing the K to 12 system, but first, I think what we need to do is we need to think about the review in from the lens of improving it and making sure that outcomes are improved. So learning outcomes, but then at some point education, employment outcomes as well, because a certain percentage of those who graduate from K to 12 will look for employment and not go to further education. What we're seeing, what we actually saw, we did the research in 2018 when the first batch of senior high school graduates were about to graduate. And we did an interview, we did a survey with various companies, and we saw that actually 93% of competencies taught in senior high school match the requirements of companies for entry-level jobs across various sectors. So a lot of the conversation around, they're not ready, they're not employable, seems to be misconceptions because they're fairly young, there's still preference for diplomas. And we have to change that, because there are really jobs that don't require college degrees. There are really jobs that and there are companies now that are looking at skills and are looking at competencies that don't necessarily require degrees. So we believe that graduates can do it. There are jobs that are out there waiting for them. And actually companies now are more open. In fact, in our last survey back in 2019, 3 out of 5 companies were actually now willing to hire and ready to hire. So that's one side of the story. The other side naman is make sure that when we review and continuously review the K to 12 program, we need to think about, okay, what are the jobs waiting out there? What are the entry-level positions waiting out there, and make sure that the tracks or the strands address all these competency needs and skills as well.